therapy. When I say without Paula, that's my therapist. Me and my girls, we all got the same therapist. Shout out Paula.
It's like, you know, before I had a girlfriend, when I was 6 years old, my first love, football. You know what I mean? That was my first. I love football.
I had never been rejected for nothing in my life. I never scored bad on an exam. So when I got my MCAT score, and it wasn't, you know, thinking like, oh, you can put in a little month and study and then take the test.
Right.
That was not that test. As long as you are better 1%, that's better than what you was yesterday. Like,
correct.
Even if it was a 40 on that exam, okay, but you know what not to do for the next exam.
I would have games I've scored 4 or 5 touchdowns. You can't tell me I'm the man. I'm the man. But then I have other times to where like I play bad, and then it's the opposite. But because I love the sport so much, I got my whole identity off of that. You have identity, then you have activity. So activity is what you do. Identity is who you are.
Yeah.
For me, I would get a lot of my identity from my activity. Because that's how society would judge you. Like, you know, what can you do? Like, do you provide, do you protect, So it's like a to-do list, like do, but you're not human doing, you're a human being. So learning how to be and just working on my identity outside of what I do.
Yeah, when you do bad. Because, I mean, there are times where, you know, you might not perform to the best. It's not a failure until you don't learn from whatever it was that you didn't do well on.
Boom, what up YouTube? It's Big Game Chain, you know the name, the most authentic in the game. And I would like to welcome you all to episode 8 of My Journey to Medicine. And today's special guest is hailing from PG County, Maryland. She graduated from Towson University with a bachelor's in biology, as well as 2 master's degrees, one in health science and another in women and gender studies. She also taught at the Vivian T. Thomas Medical Arts Academy in Baltimore City. Additionally, she worked at a youth sexual health clinic at the University of Maryland. She is a reproductive justice advocate, and she is also a second-year medical student attending Howard University College of Medicine. Our special guest is none other than student doctor Imani Pearson. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So my journey to medicine is just really about, you know, just telling our stories, documenting, you know, some of our ups and downs throughout medicine and just our journey. So I guess we could start off now. You know, we're in summer break right now. So like, how's your summer been? What you been up to?
My summer's been good. I took this summer to completely recharge
and
just answer the little questions that I've been wondering about medicine. Like, for example, what does residency applications look like and things like that. Trying to just make connections. But for real, traveling and concerts, my 2 favorite things. That's really it. What about you?
Same here. Just chilling. Also doing a little bit of shadowing as well.
Okay.
Doing some research as well, but then also making time for myself. So only traveling I've done is just going to back home to Houston, really.
Okay.
Plan to go back home after the 4th as well, and then just exploring DC a little bit.
You need to.
Yeah, different museums. Was outside for Juneteenth, had a good time. And yeah, also making music. Y'all stay tuned on the way, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's been great. And so I guess one question we could talk about is, you know, so we started off, last year was our first year of medical school, and it's a tough transition. So how would you describe your transition from medical, like to start off medical school? Like, how was it, and stuff like that?
Yeah. It was a little rough for me, for sure. I'm from here though, so it was a little easier for me to navigate moving and things like that. Like, I didn't have to adjust to a whole new, you know, environment. I was still in my environment with my support system, which I really appreciated because I definitely needed it during that time.
Yeah, definitely.
But I went from working like 4 jobs, like on go 24/7. Like, I was stuck into myself, like, oh, I needed to get to medicine so bad. Like, trying to do everything right, trying to make sure my application was like the best it could be, make sure I would be the best overall doctor, that I could be well-rounded. So I was doing too much, had my hand in too many buckets, and I didn't stop in time for me to get ready for medical school. For me personally, I was about to go to a medical school that started in August, but with how the medical school acceptance cycle went, I was waitlisted for a few schools, and Howard was the one who started the earliest. And I wasn't expecting to hear from them. I heard from them in like, I want to say May. Mind you, I got acceptances, everybody's starting in August. And the one who starts the earliest contacts me in May, the one I really want to get into, because I grew up in Howard, at Howard. So I was like, okay, this is God telling me, like, lock into this one's yours. Like, once I seen the wait list, I was like, no, it's not waitlisted, like, this is mine. So I ended up taking a trip right before, like, to try to get me, you know, out of the working mode and into, like, I'm about to go to school, like, I need something to
decompress.
And on that trip, I was going to Bermuda. While I'm loading on a cruise, boom, Howard emails me, like, you got in. But they're like, oh, it's June 17th and you got in, so you start July 13th. So I'm like, whew, okay. So I had just quit my jobs June to get ready. And I was like, oh, I was going to move to Philly because that's the school I wanted to go to at the end of June. So then I had to switch and then find an apartment out here. And then moved in, June 27th. And then school started July 13th. So it was just me like scrambling, making sure I got everything together for that. And then school came, and the beginning was like drinking out of a fire hose, like everybody said. And then it was a quick adjustment, but I think the thing that I didn't get adjusted to was the mental toll that my preparations from before and like trying to get into medical school had on me once I finally was able to sit down. Like, once I was able to sit down, everything I felt like just collapsed on me, like working too much and staying up too much and not acting my age, essentially, even though I'm young, but like being on go, like I'm 18 for that long, like that was not sufficient. So when I finally sat down, like a couple health ailments started to pop up, and navigating some stressors that come with our environment. So it was a little rough, but with the help of, you know, my SSRIs, I made it through. So if whoever is getting into medical school, I'm a huge proponent for medication when you need it. I wasn't at first, I was real scared, but then that got me through my first year. Lexapro, love her down. So yeah, that helped me. And once I got my mental health together, school followed suit. Like, yeah, it's a lot of information, but I don't think school was my biggest stressor. I think it was just everything coming down on me at once, personally. What about you though? How was your transition?
So graduated from Xavier May 10th, 2025. And then I had the summer to just kind of decompress, like just chill. And then
you had the whole summer?
That's nice. And then started in July, moved here. I want to say July 1st, I think, moved to DC. And I would say the first couple months were rough. The workload, and then also just living on my own and really being in a new environment. So being from Texas, I'm originally from Pearson, Texas, right outside of Houston, and then going to Xavier. The people, I guess you could say, the Southern hospitality is real. And then when you come to DC, it's not necessarily that everybody in DC is from DC. You have a lot of people that's from New York, from Philly, from different spots in the East Coast, and I guess socially, their norms are a little bit different from mine. So I'm used to just speaking to people, even if whereas over here they don't. Like, some people, like, you crazy? Who you talking?
Why you
talking?
Like, what's up with you? What you want?
So that was an adjustment, as well as learning how to cook. I didn't know how to cook like all my life. My mom always was great with that. Or my pops sometimes, like, you showed me how to grill and stuff like that. I could do maybe eggs, but like an actual meal, I had to learn. And sometimes you make some bad meals, you gotta eat it anyways. You gotta.
Mm-hmm.
So that I would say was an adjustment, being on my own, and I would say just learning about myself. I had a lot of time to just be at one with myself and reconnect with self. And you touched on it, just listening to God. Like how you said when you got that acceptance, it was like God telling you, like, all right, Howard is the move. So like for me, just sometimes when I was in college, there was always like an upperclassman student that give you some advice, or you could call your parents or call this professor, different things like that.
Yeah.
But now I really feel like I'm really stepping into that season to where I really am making more of my own decisions and having more autonomy and really just stepping into manhood. So I would say for me, it was like growing as a student, but it was a lot of growth I had to do just as a young man, just personally, whether it's like just time management, dating with different women, or just like being a man, like just learning, being an adult, I would say. Like you said, when I was in college, like I had a lot of, I was mature. People would say I was mature, but like it's levels to growth and maturity, and so just growing, learning more, and it's been a great journey though. But as far as the workload, it was tough at first. Yeah. But it was more so, like you said, it was balancing things outside of just school. Yeah. That makes it more difficult. Yeah. So.
And you went straight through?
Yeah, I went straight through.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So, I went straight through. But
so you're younger.
Yeah. Okay. I'm 22 for the art. I'm 20. I'm 20. I turned 23 September. So.
Okay, Virgo.
Yeah. But just learning about
you
like
had both the growing pains of like moving, but the growing pains of like this is your first time alone. Like, as a
for real. Yeah.
From college, because that post college depression hit different.
It's different. It's like you redefining yourself. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and just like. So one thing I like to do, I like to read books.
Okay.
And so, like more like personal development, like self-improvement. Like, so one book I had read, it was two things. So I watched a podcast. There's a brother by the name of Jason Wilson, and he talks a lot about like just masculinity, manhood, just being an adult compared to like being a child. In that scripture, as a child, I talked as a child. Walked as a child, reasoned as a child, but once I became an adult, I put the ways of childhood behind me. So like I kind of personalize, I think it's like 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 11, and that's where it talks about that. And so that was impactful. Now I read a book by Bell Hooks. It was called The Will to Change or something like that. Okay. But she kind of talked about, her and Jason Wilson, they kind of were just talking about identity, and sometimes for me personally as a man, so you have identity, then you have activity. So activity is what you do, identity is who you are. Yeah. For me, I would get a lot of my identity from my activity, because that's how society would judge you. Like, what can you do? Like, do you provide, do you protect, do you? So it's like a to-do list, like do, but you're not human doing, you're a human being. So learning how to be and just working on my identity outside of what I do. Yeah. Because if you would ask me who am I would just listed off things I do. Yeah. Oh, I'm Mr. Zader. Oh, I'm a student. Oh, I'm a former athlete. But that's all doing. That's not being. So I had to just learn that, like work on that, get more connected with God. I'm not the most religious in terms of going to church every Sunday, but I do pray all the time. Yeah. So that's what I would say. I grew a lot and just working on my identity and being rooted in God and being a child of God.
I love that.
Regardless of the activity, because that will go up and down. So you can't get, in my opinion, and for anybody watching, you can't base your identity based off of activity or performance, because naturally that's gonna go up and down.
So that can be taken from you at any minute. Yeah,
that's gonna go up and down. Yeah, so it's like, and just from watching different videos, it might be someone who just went through different experiences, but they're not perturbed by those experiences because their identity is not done by the fact that they can't perform a certain activity anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say. But like you said, that post college, like it's like
That's,
you kind of got to you got to like redefine who you are outside of your activity.
Yeah.
For me at least, and that was an adjustment. Yeah. So.
Cause I gotta think. I'm 28.
Mm-hmm.
So when I graduated, I didn't know my head from my tail. So it was like, I couldn't imagine, coming straight into this environment and still having all of that too. But you're holding it phenomenally.
Yeah. Well, I had to give all glory to God and my parents, my brother, my support system. A lot of us as classmates, Imani, Cam, certain people like that you can lean on, talk to, and just be at ease with, So and for anybody watching, you may walk into certain settings that are unfamiliar, right? You're in unfamiliar territory. You could have a uneasy feeling sometimes, but when you can find like-minded people, it can help you put you more at ease, So I think just finding my tribe.
And the community is everything.
Yeah, I think
you
that's.
ain't in this to be alone.
Yeah.
This with each other. So as long as you got that community, you can weather any storm.
Facts. So I guess we could hit on that, like in terms of finding community or finding those healthy outlets for our mental well-being or just overall well-being. What would be some advice that you would give to a pre-med student or anybody that's watching who wants, some tips on, all right, how do I find the right community? How do I find the right people? How do I find the right outlets? How do I find different ways to kind of put myself at ease and be more at peace and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, mine's going to be different than yours because you're coming from being somewhere else and then coming into an environment versus I've been in this environment my whole life. So my community, that literally got me my first year. Like I spent 10 years in Baltimore after between graduating high school to coming here.
Mm-hmm.
That's my adult life. It's been in Baltimore. So I've been up and down the road 24/7. I just had to be around the people who knew me, the people who can pour into me, that I trusted and, could be around. So that definitely helped, being that my support system was just an hour and a half drive away.
Close. Yeah.
And my family, they lived down Waldorf and PG, so it's real easy to get to them. But I'm mostly a call with the family, unless it's a baby. If it's a baby in the family, then I'm probably with that baby 24/7.
Yeah.
So that's where I get my joy from, is my friends and my babies. But therapy, when I say without Paula, that's my therapist. Me and my girls, we all got the same therapist. Shout out Paula. But without Paula, I wouldn't have made it. She was the one who was the one. I struggle with mental health. I'm very open about it. I had a real rough first year. Just like I said, finally sitting down and being to myself between seeing what, being on go 24/7. I'm eating fast food 24/7. Now I can gain 200 pounds. I don't really know myself. I'm like, oh, this is what I look like. I probably took the time to sit down and then with that comes all the health ailments that come with gaining. I'll probably gain 100, 150. So that was a lot mixed in with, my mind racing 24/7, the anxiety. That had always been there, and it was until I finally stopped moving that the depression hit. And I was like, oh, I've never experienced this before. I feel real dark. This isn't me. I can feel this isn't me. I know you say you rely on God. I love God, but I know I'm also in that period in my life where I'm like, okay, the God that I know, it's not really fitting into
what's going on,
what I believe God to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in the church. You can call me a PK adjacent. My mom had me young, so the first lady kind of took my mom under her wing. And so I went to Christian school, I went to private school for the first half of my life. I went Christian, then moved around a bit, but stayed at the same church, whatever. So I grew up Christian, and then when I finally sat and like really thought about like my religion and how it fits with me, some of the things that was taught to me wasn't aligned with what I believe God to be.
Mm-hmm.
So then that was hard for me too, like finally acknowledging that and trying to figure out how to rely on God without still subscribing to my religion. So that was a lot. So I'm spiritual. And the one thing Paula was like, what's the one thing that's like you're a sinner? And it was God. So I'm like, I was struggling like, is it still God? Can it still be God if I don't subscribe to Christianity? That was a big thing for me. So getting my center, getting what centered and grounded me together was the first thing that I needed to address while being in school. So that's what my therapist helped me do, like figure out what God looks like to me and like how to root myself in it. So yeah, that kind of got me out of my depression, that with the help of SSRIs.
Yeah.
And I felt like me again, and now I'm just kind of like on the journey of like trying to get myself back to somebody that I recognize. But yeah, therapy, medication, support system.
Hey.
And I can't lie, y'all are it too. Y'all, our class has such a family feel that I'm so grateful. Like y'all aren't weird. Like y'all, when I say weird, not like the typical weird, but weird is like y'all aren't mean-spirited people. Y'all share resources. Y'all aren't so gunner like you can't have this. You're not self-sabotaging me. Y'all are pouring into me. Y'all are lifting me up. Y'all are providing any resources that I need to make it through. So I so appreciate y'all for that, because like I said, it's been 6 years since I've been in biology. As y'all heard, I did a master's in women and gender and health science, so that was more the liberal arts type of field. But like orgo is 6 years behind me, or biochem. So I'm like, I didn't really remember any of this stuff, and I'm nervous because I'm like, dang, like I ain't seen none of this
it's been a
in a minute. Like granted, studied for MCAT. Barely, but also was working 4 jobs while I was trying to study for MCAT. So yeah, it was just like, without y'all for that academic part, no, that would have been real hard on trying to adjust. So personal life was definitely therapy and all of that stuff, but academically, y'all, like for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm similar in terms of the academics, like in terms of our classmates leaning on one another to get through this journey, because oftentimes like people don't know what we're going through. Like people who aren't in our same, taking these classes, studying all the time, they may not understand what we go through, or like when we say, oh, we got 2 exams coming up, or oh, we got this, we got that. It's kind of, to them, it's like, oh, that's nothing. Like, oh, man, it's like we've been doing that. We've been going to school since we were young. Like, but they don't understand, like, it's really a lot. So, definitely leaning on one another. I would definitely say, once again, my parents, my brother, my older brother, that's really like, I think, and that is, like, my upbringing inspired this channel, because, like, I really believe I'm extremely blessed. I've had my own hardships and health struggles and different things that, you know, it wasn't my choice. You know, it's just the hand that I was dealt. But on the flip side, I've also been dealt a lot of positive, and a lot of people who have poured into my being to help me be where I am. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my parents, my brother, my friends, family. So relying on them has helped me, and it also has gave me a sense of purpose to want to do the same for others. So that actually helps put a smile on my face. It's like putting a smile on somebody else's face, or like teaching somebody else something. I might be stressed, I might be going through this, going through that, but we go do a panel or community outreach event. Now I feel better. Because it's like I made somebody else's day better. So
that pours into you.
So I think it's definitely my support system, my parents, my brother, just giving me, not just along this journey, but my whole life, just giving me that inspiration, that encouragement, that motivation to just keep going, because it's hard, it's difficult. And a lot of times for me when I was younger, my outcome in terms of school was in direct proportion to my effort. So if I wanted a good grade, all I would have to do is put in more effort and I would get a good grade.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older and matriculated to different levels of school, specifically like medical school, when we were doing our neuro unit, it was like I'm putting in this much effort and then my result is down here. And so it's like, all right, I did bad on that exam, it's okay, I'm gonna just lock in for the next one and put, all right, this next, I'm gonna put even more effort. And then you get your result, it's still low. So it's just that
trial and error, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and it can be discouraging, but you know, when you have, like you said, that support system, give you some words of encouragement, and also too with my faith as well. Like I'm not the most religious, go to church 7 days a week and go to church every weekend, but I am spiritual, like you said. I believe in God, and you know, one concept that I saw, I forgot who said it, but they were saying relationship over religion. Like when you have a relationship with God, that's what it's about. And so I think
you don't have to subscribe to the rules.
Yeah, it's like you have your relationship.
Patriarchy and
it's a lot
makes you feel like you have to do, since we are conceived upon this earth. Like, no, it doesn't have to be black and white.
Right. Right. So it's like just maintaining your relationship and building that relationship with God is important for me. Like that's been important, and just trusting in God, and you know, just doing all I can to just enjoy the journey, but like, you know, just lean on God and do what I can. So but that's what it's been for me. God, family, friends, classmates help get me to this point. You know what I mean? So I guess the next thing we can hit on is like, just so we talked about, you know, navigating our transition, first year of medical school, mental wellness, how we're able to optimize our mental health and different strategies and outlets that we have. I guess another pivot that we can make is about maintaining our outside interests as we continue to pursue medicine. So one thing that's big for me, that's been helpful for me, is like doing my, whether it's music, whether it's YouTube, whether it's different things, like making sure I make time for that. Like, can you talk about the importance of give the viewers some advice or some perspective on the importance of making sure you're still doing other things outside of just medical or school related?
Yeah, because it can swallow you up whole. I'll tell you that. You be like, nah, I ain't got time for this. You do. Please make the time for it, because like you said, effort don't always equal what your output gonna be.
Right.
So you like, dang, I could have really went to this thing I really wanted to go to, instead of taking them 3 hours to study that you didn't really process anything. Just go do it. So my thing is, when you hit that brick wall, you gonna know when you hit that brick wall. Stop, like put it down, take a nap, go outside, touch some grass, talk to your mama or whoever pours back into you. But for me, you know, I'm a music girl too.
Yeah.
So I'm singing. I'm somewhere in my house, probably in the shower. My water bill crazy. I take like 2-3 hour showers if school really got me down bad. On average, hour shower.
The showers do be hitting me.
But yeah, my hour shower, I'm listening to my music, I'm singing. And if I'm not singing, I'm listening to somebody else sing. So I'm at a concert. You can ask my classmates. I don't give a dag if that concert is the day before the exam. If I love that person, I'm going to go see them. So, like literally, Flowetry was right before, I feel like, our last SF3 exam. And I was like, I guess I'm doing Auntie at the Flowetry concert because I'm not missing Flowetry. But what happened? I still passed.
Still do your thing.
It does not matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm still going to do my music. So whatever that is for you, keep it. Like, don't let it go. Hold on to it for dear life. I mean, I'm a pretty lax person, so like I'm not going to dwell on it if like I missed 3 hours of studying to go to this concert. Even if I did do bad on the exam, I still poured into me. Like I'm at the end of the day, I still am going to set myself up to pass, to do what I need to do. So as long as your priorities are together and you know you can still pour into you while still doing what you need to do academically, do it. I'm not gonna say never. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to fail. That's a non-negotiable for me. If I think I'm going to fail, then my priorities are messed up somehow, some way, and it needs to be reorganized. But if I feel like, okay, depression is coming, I feel depressy poo, it's coming on, like, I'm going to that concert. Whether I put in the work studying or not, that just means I'm 3 hours later than I normally would be the night before the exam, trying to cram. But if both of them are down bad, that's a bigger problem. And then that's when I need to rely on probably therapy, because the concert is not going to get me out of pouring into me. Plus, my academics are bad, because I've never had a period where my academics are bad. So if my academics bad, that means something totally is off. So, I just, pour into you and listen to your body when you need it. Make sure you do them hard stops when you feel like nothing is being absorbed, and make sure you keep to whatever it is that you like to do. For me, that's concerts and music.
Yep. So music, concerts, you gotta have your outlet. You gotta have your outlet. So we can wrap up with just our closing words for the video. So what would be, and I'll go first, and then you could finish it off.
Okay.
So closing words, like what is one piece of advice that you would give to an aspiring pre-med student? It could be something we've already talked about, or it could be something else. Like, what is one piece of advice? And my piece of advice, pretty much piggybacking off of what you just said, would be that you are not your exam scores. So, like you said, like whether you did good or did bad, like you got to move on with your life. Don't allow that to deflate your spirit entirely. And so obviously it never feels good when you don't get the score that you desire, but at the same time, don't let it overflow into the next exam and like really, cause you to look at yourself less than. Like I said, activity is separate from identity. So whether you get 100 or whether you get 40, your identity is your identity. That's separate from your activity. Don't base your identity based off of your activity. So, and it might take you some time to get out of that mindset. It might be going to therapy. It might be a conversation with friends and family. It might just be having hard conversations with yourself. It might be journaling. It might be working, whatever it is, but you have to get out of that mindset. And I'm stressing that because I had that mindset.
Yeah.
And I think it came from my sports background. It was like when the clock hits zero, you're either a winner or a loser. Like you're either the winning team or the losing team.
Yeah.
And so I was very hard on myself. And whenever we would win, I felt good. Whenever we would lose or whenever I played bad, I would feel bad. So that's how I was judging myself. And like my parents, coaches, my brother, my friend, they all, keep your head up, it's okay. But I would beat myself up. If I played bad and we lost and I thought it's because I played bad, I'll be like, man, I'll be down, like, dang. But as I've gotten older, I've realized you got to detach from the performance, detach from the outcome, detach from the result, detach from the activity. So even if y'all did lose the game, even if you did play bad, even if the exam didn't go well, even if your relationship didn't work out, even if whatever, the presentation didn't go as good as you wanted, that doesn't represent your identity. That's just the activity. So it's like
you still you at the end of the
day. You're still you. So like I'm gonna keep stressing that, because for me that was a big hurdle. Once I've gotten over that, now it's like I'm still gonna go hard with my activity, but I'm not putting as much pressure on myself to like, it gotta be right. Yeah, it gotta be right. Yeah, perfectionism. That's literally, and I've sat down with therapists and talked about that, and it's been helpful for me. as well as just talking with friends, family, and just being honest and open with my mentality and working on that. And there's even other books, CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy workbooks. So I've done some of those as well, just to help in case you don't feel comfortable talking with somebody. You can buy a book. Once again, it's called a CBT workbook, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy workbook. They have some for different types of things. For me, it was perfectionism, and I had to literally write it out. And that's why I came to that conclusion, a lot of perfectionist tendencies I had. And, you know, it goes into the root of that. What was the root of that? And for me, it was my sports upbringing and me getting that sense of identity from sports. Like, you know, before I had a girlfriend, when I was 6 years old, my first love, football. You know what I mean? That was my first, I love football. I wake up, I want to be the next quarterback in the NFL, like when I was young. And so I would have games, I've scored 4 or 5 touchdowns. You can't tell me I'm the man. I'm the man. But then I'd have other times to where like I play bad, and then it's the opposite. But because I love the sport so much, I got my whole identity off of that. And you see it with a lot of athletes, after they retire, they enter a depression. Or after they finish the career-ending injury and they can't play sports anymore, because your whole identity oftentimes is like, it's that. So it's like, if I can't play basketball no more, if I can't play as good as I used to, if I'm not, it's like, dang, well, who am I? But you have to develop that identity outside of activity. I'll get off my soapbox and let you,
that was good.
Yeah.
And then to piggyback a little bit off of you, like, when you do bad, because, I mean, there are times where, you know, you might not perform to the best. It's not a failure until you don't learn from whatever it was that you didn't do well on. Like, as long as you are better 1%, that's better than what you was yesterday. Like,
correct.
Even if it was a 40 on that exam, okay, but you know what not to do for the next exam. Or you know, okay, I tried this out, so now I know to try something else out because that didn't work for me. It's still a win at the end of the day, because you could have just be in the same spot and stagnant, and that to me is a failure.
Yeah, fact.
But yeah, I definitely like that.
Yeah.
But for me, what I would leave y'all with is probably don't say no to yourself. I feel like that was a big thing that I did with that perfectionist mindset. I kept being like, okay, I got rejected immediately after graduating for medical school, and I took that hard. I ain't never been rejected for nothing in my life. I never scored bad on the exam, so when I got my MCAT score, and it wasn't, you know, thinking like, oh, you can put in a little month and study and then take the test.
Right.
That was not that test. So when I got the score and it wasn't what I thought it would be, I'm like, oh, like, maybe what everybody's telling me, because I also went to a PWI, and so I heard it a lot, like, oh, it's okay if med school doesn't work out for you, like, there's other things you can do to still feel fulfilled, blah, 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 and I'm like, I know that, I'm aware of that,
but this is what I
want to do. Why are you introducing something else? I didn't ask you for that. Like, you're supposed to be the one trying to help me. So I could see if I was like failing everything. It's like, okay, well, you might not graduate.
Right.
And, you know, I don't think medicine if you don't like school. You know, it wasn't nothing like that. So with that mentality, like that perfectionism, I was like, oh, I didn't get in. I didn't do well. To me, I failed. I didn't fail, but you know,
that's how
you know how you feel.
Time.
And yeah, so you're just like, no, I'm not ready for medical school, obviously. So I did it, and I just kept telling myself, oh, I'm not ready. I would take the MCAT. Oh, I'm not ready. Cancel it. Reschedule it. And y'all know that MCAT costs money. So I'm wasting money at this point. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take it, and it was COVID, and it was a lot going on. I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. Oh, I'm scared. Or like, oh, I can do a couple more months. I could just go next year. That's how I got my second master's. I was literally like procrastinating medical school for so long. I knew this is what I wanted to do. I knew this is what I was going to do. No ifs, ands, or buts. But I'm like, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not ready. 6 years passed, and it finally took my mentor, Matt. Hey, Matt. To be like, and that's another thing, get good mentors. To pour into you. But it took him to be like, you ready. What are you still here for? Like, this isn't a job that I want you to stand at. You told me your dream was to become a doctor. We're going to make it happen. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to plan out your time so that you can take off from work and just study for medicine. You earned this time. It's your time. Take it, study, do your MCAT, come back. Did that. Perfect. Like, he just kicked my butt on everything. Like, I was about to cancel MCAT. He was like, you cancel that MCAT, and he would like threaten me with something for work. Like, oh, you're completing all of the paperwork for the next spring. I'm like, oh, I'm not completing all the paperwork. Let me look at what I need to do. So, like, it took him, and it wasn't a me on my own. I didn't have it. If you were to ask me if I had it on my own, I didn't. So I guess I would say support system. And yeah, stop telling yourself no and just go for it. Just do the thing. Cause look, where I am with you guys. And it took me 6 years to tell myself no, but all you needed is that one yes, and let them tell you no. If they tell you no, it's not a no. It's not an absolute door close. It's a
not
pivot.
yet.
You know. So yeah, make sure you got that solid center, something to center yourself. I would leave you with, for me, that's my spirituality. Good support system, people to pour into you when you don't have it, because we're not going to have it all the time. Keep relying on yourself. And then, yeah, don't tell yourself no. Keep going. And let them tell you no. That's it.
Facts. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, and check out the channel for more.